Right. 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 All right, here we go. Thank God for Wi-Fi. I'm Brandon David. We are live with the Music Tech Super Connect, May 22nd, 2023, coming fresh out of Music Biz Week. Some of our crew was live at Bitcoin Miami 2023, as well as VCon and other events across the globe. And it's an honor. We do these events to bring movers and shakers from around the globe who are paving the way in emerging tech, and also bring in experts from different verticals in their field, whether it be law, real estate tech, engineering, music, entertainment, you name it. Music is that universal language that brings us together. So we choose to focus in that music tech realm. And like we learned in Music Biz Week, music tech is the new music biz. So we're here with movers and shakers from around the globe. We have Renata from Infinity. We have Andrew Schiffman, Schiller, Mark Cianci, Ropes and Gray, trusted attorney in the blockchain space, and just a trusted person in general. Don't just take my word for it. Anybody who knows Mark knows he's not just a good guy. He's bold where it counts, and he's a master of hospitality and a man of wisdom. And I'm not just throwing that out lightly. I've experienced it and know people who have as well. And Joe Banjeri, the legend himself, he doesn't make it hard to make connections when you run into producers and movers and shakers all over the place. They seem to know who Joe is. So Joe Banjeri, DigiTracks, making music AI and so much more. And we got some great people in the audience, y'all. Not even just in the audience, and they're not just on standby. These are curated, invited advisors, collaborators, new friends that we've met on the road. From Zach 23K, Success himself, legend. Shout out to you, sir. Zach Tepe, esports all-star and super connector. Neil, breaking hits. Garth, Vayner 3, Ifani, the Bitcoin Whisperer, Miami. Ashley, honor to have you. Mark Birch, AWS, all-star, super community builder on the call. Daniel Sun, he's a Miyagi for the tech engineering space. For Sean, amazing music business veteran and just great hospitality and connector himself. Kiki, always good. Ever since connected with you during Music Business Week, you can tell the future is bright here in Nashville. And anybody else I'm missing, we know you're here for a reason. So with that being said, if you're tuning in, you had to be here on the call or had to be connected to one of our collaborators for our Music Tech Super Connect. So feel free to reach out to me personally or somebody that you see on the call to make sure you can get in the mix on the next one. With that being said, just want each of our panelists to go around and just briefly just share, say 20 seconds on your background, if you could sum it up, and what you're doing today in this space. And we'll start with Renata from Infinity.xyz.
Oh, hi, my name is Renata Lowenbrown. I'm a music attorney turned tech attorney, worked with major label artists, producers, and songwriters, primarily in pop, R&B, and hip hop. And have Infinity, which is a music platform for independent recording artists and their fans to grow together.
Awesome. Mark Cianci.
Great to be with everyone tonight. I am a Web3 lawyer, in addition to wearing a few other hats. And as most relevant to this group, I do a lot of work at the intersection of music and entertainment more broadly on the one hand, and Web3 on the other. So I represent some of the largest record labels and advising their artists on their Web3 offerings, and also work with a number of independent artists who are using digital assets as their primary method for delivering their content. Excited to be part of the mix tonight.
Awesome. Joe Banjeri. You're on mute. You're on mute, Joe.
Hello, everybody. I'm Joe Banjeri. I'm here in spent half my time in Knoxville, Tennessee, where we have studios, which is our music intelligence labs and recording studios. We've been working in what we call MI. Artificial intelligence, encompasses so many things, and the thought in everyone's head on artificial intelligence today is either voice recreation a la Grimes and the Grimes Throwdown and everything, like from what Biggie's, sing in New York, and this deep fake. And that's what people are aligning towards AI, which it really isn't AI, but it is, because it created the sound of it, like a synthesizer, essentially. So there's the voice modeling part of AI, and then there's a compositional part and an analysis part where we hold 7 patents in analysis and composition. And now over the past, we acquired another company 2 months ago called Algorithms.ai, which is a sound modeling company. And we're able to now take I have a catalog of over 20,000 songs that we've recorded for the past 30 years. I've acquired this catalog. And we have all of the independent tracks for doing models of instruments and voices. And, we've got some great stuff. We've got, Hammond B3s and Leslie cabinets and like this delicious organ sounds that you can recreate now using modeling. And it's been a big week for us at Digitrax. We closed a term sheet for our first investment of $2 million. And it's smart money too, because it's with a company that's doing AI gaming that wants to use both our karaoke catalog and have us create new music for content that they would own the publishing and the sound recordings on, based on our platform, which is not to be confused with there's like neural nets out there like ChatGPT and these large model like Beethoven and a few others like Boomi. He got removed from I know Matt Santarelli really well, really good friends with him. Lovely system they have, but we're doing something different. We're taking almost like a haute couture kind of viewpoint in trying to establish ethical AI. And what I mean by that, if we use any training models, anything that all of the rights holders are paid, and there's enough systems in place presently between mechanical rights, synchronization rights, and then the big one, derivative rights, if there's a derivative involved. And it was pretty fortunate that Grimes threw down and said, let's do a 50-50 split. So we're going to hang our hat on, we're going to create some things with the Grimes camp, and using her voice as the model, and then using her music as the abstract data from the music theory that she applies, not her notes or any way she reconstitutes things. I mean, just to become a clone, a Grimes clone. And we've got the technology in cross music theory disciplines. So like, the music theory of the 1800s that most people learn in university, that's pretty racist 18th century dudes from Germany, and Europe. But then you have the American canon, blues. I mean, from blues begets jazz, rock and roll, soul. I mean, all this beautiful music that we get today, pop, EDM, that's the roots of it, right? So you've got, and that's like modal, amodal, atonal, tonal, modal composition. And that's something that's really important right now. So what we're doing is we're using music intelligence, which is a loose group of rules, right, for music and how you create music, and then being able to learn from a model. And we're really fortunate this week too. We got a big hire. We got this. Our president is Joy O'Shell. I mean, you can look her up. She's wonderful. I've known Joy for 10 years now from the Knoxville Entrepreneur Center, but she's a local Knoxvillian, which was really fortuitous. because we're off the grid. I mean, if you've been here to Knoxville, we're not an easy flight. We're in the foothills of the Smoky Mountains, but we're in the shadow of Atlanta and Nashville. So we get a lot of country artists in our studio, and we get a lot of hip hop artists from Atlanta and from, believe it or not, Memphis. A lot of kids drive 6 hours from Memphis to come to our studio to work with a lot of our producers. And having that basis and now being able to really help create ethical AI by having these guidelines and working within the guidelines, because there's enough create and there's enough percentages to go around to everyone. And then, enabling all this on a blockchain, to work with a company like Andrews or Infinity. That's our model, is to hopefully work with as many platforms as possible, because the first service we provide is we've created an ability to look at the songs and read notes immediately and let you know if patterns of notes are repeated in any song, like different than waveform matching or what's used presently for fingerprinting. That's great technology. We're not here to replace that. What we're looking at is like if motifs, dun, 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 1 second little chops are used, we could go find them and we can let you know what parts of your song to change before you put a song out, so you don't get in trouble with, potential infringement. And we have the ability to do that right now, which is pretty cool. We could tell you the parts of the songs, and we do it through these really cool sciences called nuclear spectrograph and space quadrant. And it's all pattern recognition. It turned into topology and then cleaned up so that that it could be used for notes. We can find the notes and demucking sound, like splitting it up and then being able to pull out the actual notes and then be able to compare those notes in time and space and rhythm and so forth. So we're having a lot of fun. I mean, we've been working on this stuff for like 6 years, and it's really gratifying to see that artificial intelligence, music intelligence, rules-based systems, there's a place for them in society. And I believe that it'll be a big part of being able to gain provenance for the seeds of creation. So if people want to think Legos, if people want to use multiple things, which is going to happen, like how do we track all of that? We believe that we have a logical plan based in math to answer this. So that's sorry, I went way over. I got flagged. Peace, man. I'm so sorry, but I'm really excited this week. So we've got funding, and we've got a new president for our company, Joy O'Shell, who's come from Beatport. She did the Beatport acquisition to Silverman when what was it? FX Networks. Remember, he bought all the EDM stuff. Joy was for that. Her first gig was right out of law school, and she went to go work for AOL Music. And then after that, she was at Amazon Music. She was business affairs. You can look up her background. Infinity. She was pretty impressive that it happened for us. So I know, thumbs up. You were talking to me about that as well. And it was a really good, it was a fortuitous find. And so she's a lawyer, and she's got the background to help us execute. So that was really good as a startup. So, everybody keep plugging away.
Anytime you work with lawyers, they're always great. That's
Great.
my opinion, but that's okay.
I couldn't agree more. And then she was part of the Knoxville Entrepreneur Center that we did. And then she was part of Launch Tennessee as well. So she helped us through 2 big sprints with incubators, which was great. And, we're really grateful for that. So
Awesome.
Cool. Sorry, took so long.
So not sure who we just lost in the mid. Oh yeah, I think Andrew should be right back on. He's just having a connection issue there. But with that being said, we have an esports all-star. And by the way, Joe, Renata's got the she chose not to use the gavel on your time on that one. So you got a little bit of grace on that one, a whole lot of love. So if anybody else does it, so Joe, now you have to, anybody else does what you just did, you gotta, I'm just having fun. And AI is definitely a big part of this deal. So congratulations on Digitrax. It's definitely been a standard, raising up the standard in ethical AI, music AI, authentic intelligence. Zach, man, want to hear from you. And we're just going to dive right into it because a big part of these sessions is going into the breakout rooms, people getting, that time in small groups, so we're going to set the tone here. Zach, you've been on the esports wave for years. You didn't know really what to do with the blockchain space, but you stayed on the cutting edge, continued to hunker down, and now you're seeing AI come about. So you being like an esports all-star, and on the cutting edge of a lot of tech over time, what are you seeing right now, Zach, as far as where things are going?
Yeah, first talk with Joe, Andrew, a few other. Oh, this Zach. There's two of us now.
No,
you figure it out here. Zach, keep going. Zach, go. I've had my time.
The best part is the way I have this set up. I can only see the 4 people that are on screen, so I had no idea what that voice was at all. I thought it was some sort of insane echo. Then I realized it wasn't me talking. It was a real surprise. Anyway, Brendan, yeah, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Joe, I loved hearing about what you're working on there. That's really exciting stuff. SFX was a heck of a company with a lot of really exciting projects that they were a part of, and bringing people over from that. For something as high growth as what you're doing on, it's pretty fun. So yeah, I'm Zach Teep. I'll spare the whole story of how I went from music education to sports broadcasting to stand-up comedy to esports. I'm here now. Did brand activation design for Fortune 500s into gaming, worked with some sports leagues, ran a consulting practice for a couple of years, connecting strategic partnerships, mostly to non-endemic partners for esports startups, as well as new M&A creations that would come about and would need the right strategic connections to facilitate whatever their new goal was. Basically, when something new was happening, people would call me to figure out who they needed to call, and we would make that happen. And somewhere along the way, that's where I met Brandon and got involved in this group. Been a while since I've been able to hang out on one of these, but it's been a whirlwind, and it's good to be back. Hearing about some of the awesome stuff that's happening in the music space, because a lot of the best projects in esports that I'm seeing are leveraging brand equity that's gained from the music industry, gained from non-endemic sectors of entertainment. A lot of the projects I like to focus on integrate something from sports, or integrate something from music, or integrate something from both of those things at the same time, where there's celebrity brand equity involved. Whatever it is, if it has the opportunity to elevate the space and get more eyeballs on something, and they're authentic, organic eyeballs that are following because of the person, they're following because of like I said, the brand equity of the individual, that's something that's going to be exciting to me. So AI is fun because AI is an opportunity for people to, the way I always say it is, if people are bad writers, AI will make them an okay writer. And if they're an okay writer, it'll make them a good writer. And if they're a good writer, it'll make them a more efficient good writer. And so you see this thing where it's bringing up, it has the potential to bring up what could be perceived as a floor, but I perceive it as an opportunity to get more people involved that care about stuff, that have something to bring, but might not know how to communicate that thought, might not know how to get it out efficiently, quickly, whatever. And this allows them to do that. And that's the most exciting thing I've seen from AI. And then obviously you have the opportunity to push the envelope and do more people to engage with something, more ways for brands to get in front of people, because they can do it with less overhead now, because they can leverage something smart, they can leverage something next level, they can leverage something interesting. Joseph, that's a great point with auto-tune. It's basically, it's kind of the same thing. I mean, it would be non-technical, but sort of correct to say that AI is like auto-tune for pitch with voices, and it up levels you. Again, that is a non-technical explanation. So, and I know that, so please do not get mad at me. It is a colloquialism to describe kind of the concept we're talking about here, but it's fun stuff, and when it comes to the esports space, when people introduce me as the esports guy, because what I really see myself as is the youth engagement guy. I just use gaming as the tool to get there, right? Like I come from music education background originally. I wanted to teach kids how to sing, like in The Music Man. And then I realized I didn't want to teach all day. So I did stand up for a while. I did sports broadcasting. And then I just started a consulting firm because I decided I never want to have a real job in my life. And it worked out. And so, now here I am, ironically, taking a job. I start in a couple of days as director of sales for an event production company called Showcore. That is very popular in the B2B space, but we're going to take them into the B2C world, music, esports, sports, all that other stuff. It's going to be really fun. Still doing consulting work on the side. I'm rambling a bit. I don't know who's supposed to hit me with a hammer after I ramble too long, but I'll
Come
spare
on,
you.
Joe, where you at, man? Joe, come
Yeah,
on,
I'll
Joe.
spare you the indecency. I'll spare you the indecency and say, I consider myself a youth engagement expert with the mantle of esports over top of it because it's a catchy buzzword. But really, we're talking music, sports, esports, anything that involves people getting in touch with things they care about and finding a way to activate around it. That's what I'm here for. I'd love to talk about ways to do that with each and every one of you. Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm going to bring up success also. If I'm going to bring success up. And
How you doing?
hey, man, honor.
Ladies,
You know,
hey, gentlemen, ladies, how you doing?
it's been a while. You know, I wanted to have Mark Cianci just share a little bit on the law side. And then just before we go into the first breakout session, really just with Phil, well, success is, when you're around him, you can feel success. This is, something he's really guided some of the top artists and entertainers in the space. He's been around some of the greatest movers and shakers. And I think it will be helpful for Mark, if you could kind of touch base on kind of where the opportunity for collaboration is in this space and how to, it's kind of what a big part for law and attorneys is helping facilitate some of that collaboration. So if you could touch on that, it would be great to get successes and anybody else who wants to chime in before we go into the breakout session.
Sure thing. Happy to address that. From my vantage point as provider of counsel to a lot of participants in the industry, I happen to see a lot of those opportunities for collaboration, and I'll just pick one example. So I mentioned previously that I work with a lot of artists that are using the NFT platform as the primary method of getting their content out to their fans. Now, that happens to be a group of individuals who are fairly tech savvy. And so they understood at almost an instinctual level how to do that. And so they didn't need anyone to bring them up to speed on the tech piece. Now, at the same time, there are tons of other artists who would love to use digital assets as a medium of getting their content out there, but don't have some of those built-in tech capabilities and functionalities that would facilitate that goal. And what we see here represented in this meeting and what I see day to day in a lot of my touch points is there are a wide variety of tech partners, tech collaborators, tech consultants who are willing and interested to come alongside those artists. Now, when I represent record labels, that's all integrated, but this is more for the independent artists, as well as some record labels that could use additional support in that realm. It's just a matter of one phone call, one email saying, hey, I know you want to get your content out. Hey, I know you can provide tech capabilities to help us achieve that. Here, why don't we get you two on a call and make this happen? That's just one example, but it's a real life example. I've seen it a few times, and it's, I think, emblematic of the kind of synergies and optimization that we can achieve just by having meetings like this, knowing each other, and knowing who to call when the right opportunity arises.
Nice. Again, my name's Success. Just to give y'all a little background on myself, and thanks for inviting me, Brandon. I know there's times you've been, reaching out to me. I'll be running around. I still respond, but I feel like everything is timing. And I'm just kind of sitting down because I just came from Dubai. I'm kind of sick right now, so excuse me if I cough a little bit or whatever the case may be. But I'm a music executive. I grew up with Jay-Z and Marcy Projects in Brooklyn. So that he's the direct inspiration of me getting into the music business because I watched what he was able to do. I knew I couldn't rap like him, but I was just like, okay, well, maybe I could get it on the business side or something like that. So that's what I started doing, and just making my way, working with a lot of artists. Currently I co-manage CeeLo Green. I work with him. I work with Busta Rhymes, very close friend of mine. Coi Leray, is my niece. Work with Ice Spice. So there's a lot of artists that I have influence with. And what I decided to start doing, because I'm a guy that think outside the box. You know, CeeLo and I, we had a label situation over at Sony. A lot of people tell me I should go over to the labels and I could get an executive spot with my resume with no problem and get a paycheck. But however, I'm a person that's been going to these, you know, to these functions trying to meet intelligent people like you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I wanna bridge the gap. And I'm a guy that can do that because, you know, I know it's a different lingo sometimes, you know, with the Web3 and the blockchain and the AI. So it sounds foreign. And sometimes to artists, when it's something, or people in general, when they don't understand something, they can reject it. So what I've been trying to do is learn as much as I can, and then, you know, come bring it to them in simpler forms. You know what I mean? Like, okay, well, this is how this can work. This is how that can work. So me personally, what I want to do, I want to start a label where it's strictly Web3, blockchain, you know, on those streaming activities, because there's so many disgruntled artists that's upset about the labels and the old contracts and, you know, things of that nature, where I'm like, okay, well, here's a safe space. You know, you don't have to trust me. You don't have to trust this person. Like, you know, we have a smart contract. But also just with that being said, I just wanted to come and listen because CeeLo, you know, and other artists I'm working with, they're looking to do some of these very innovative things, but it just have to make sense, you know, obviously, you know, because of their brand, or, you know, and for example, right now, CeeLo's a independent artist as CeeLo Green. However, with the Gnarls Barkley project, they're going to be putting out the third album soon. They're working on that right now, you know, through Atlantic. But again, yeah, I'm just really, you know, want to connect with people that I could be an asset to, that we could be an asset to one another, and we can push the, you know, and push this, because I tell people, I'm like, listen, this is the .com era all over again. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
This is, you know, when people was like, what do I need a website for? I don't need no .com. So I strongly believe that. So that's why I'm just slowly trying to make baby steps, build relationships, you know, things of that nature, because I don't want to miss out on it. And, you know, and I'm a person that I don't think like some artists and just be like, oh, nah, it's this way. You know what I mean? Like, so I can translate that. So even if you guys have certain things, again, that you're working on, and you know, I'm very resourceful. It's almost no one that I can't touch or have relationships with, you know what I mean, that trust my influence. And I'm open to that. I want to do business. I want to change the game, because I don't want to stick to the regular system. I could do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm almost like an outlaw, you know, with the labels. I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that. I want to, you know, let's do something innovative. Let's do something really different.
We need to talk success, because we can take legacy artists and clone them for you, where we do a whole thing for label services, artist services, where you can use music intelligence, and then you're in control of the whole thing. You just use
Right.
to model.
I'll add 2 cents here too, because I was out in the beginning, and I know we can talk right when we're all separate, but right, the premise of Infinity is the same. We have Havoc from Mob Deep on our board of advisors. Somebody I've known for quite some time. There you go. We know a lot of people in common, trust me. And Lord Finesse, who's on our board of advisors, and we actually just released Gina Thompson, right, who had a couple of hits in the 90s. And so our premise is that same thing, that the major labels is an era that's changing. The streaming is an era that's changing. And for us, we believe, right, that there should be a lot of choices, right, for independent artists, right? We're one choice, but there should be many. We don't want there to be only several players out there. So we've been working on that now for over a year. So would love to talk to you, obviously, everybody here.
No, absolutely. Appreciate it.
Awesome. You know, Andrew, before we go into the breakout rooms, man, you've been in this from MTV executive. I know you've worked with the labels in the past. You were at Rally, you were at Yellow Heart, working alongside artists. Just the key to collaboration in this space, and what you see, you know, you're at one of the top, you know, new companies coming up to speed, but you're one of the top guys in the space. So let's hear your perspective.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great space to collaborate with seamless payouts and access points through the technology, right? Smart contracts, but also, companies collaborating more than ever. I really see this community really coming together and allowing, partnerships and really digging into, how can I help you versus to compete, so artists collaborating with visual artists on drops, how can we make the experience and the product more valuable and accessible and a better experience for the community. And I think that's when collaboration really comes into play.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, y'all, it's about that time for our first breakout session. You'd have to be on the call, on the Zoom call, to actually get an opportunity to network in these breakout sessions. The topic, y'all, is the art and science of collaboration. Setting some ground rules. Keep it brief. If you've been a moderator with us before, like whether it's Mark Cianci, Zach 23K, Ifani's part of our, been part of our More Than Mastermind group. You also feel free to step up and just help lead the way if this is something. And then if you're new to this, feel free to just relax, chill, jump in when you'd like. And let's make sure everybody gets an opportunity to really just share their heart, what they're doing, and let's practice. Let's practice what we do, y'all. So I'm seeing Andrew and Mark Birch in a room. That's fire with some other amazing movers and shakers. I'm seeing Mark in a room with Vershawn, Renata, Joe. I'm seeing Garth and Success and Zach Lindenberg in another room, Zach 23K, Ifani. So, we got some powerhouses. Don't worry. If you're not in a room with everybody you want to be in, there's another round too. So sometimes the person you least expect is sometimes that breakout all-star. It might be that sixth man or that ace in the hole when you really need, somebody in your corner. So we're not just looking at what people are experts in. There are people on this call with amazing character, y'all. And sometimes that takes 2, 3, 4, 5 calls to jump into. So we'll be talking more about that on the next round. But y'all, it's a 3, 2, 1. We're going to go 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the breakout rooms. Jerry B. Yo, right on time, ladies and gentlemen, before he gets to go into a breakout room. We got one of the people leading the way here. So if you're watching live, the Entree Musician has tuned in. I'm not sure if his mic's on, but I just want to shout out Jerry B from the Entree Musician, fusing principles and the heart of people, the art of people building in the music space. Just an amazing example of somebody who's helping lead the way by practicing principles in all that he does, and just really empowering, just like it says, the Entree Musician. So always good to have the Entree Musician in the house. I'm going to see if I can get him in one of the
Blessings, brother. I'm driving, hey. So I'm incognito. Okay?
No worries, man. Do you want me to send you into a room? Get you out of the main stage?
Either or.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you in with Schiffman and Mark Birch. So
very cool.
All right, yes, sir. I thought I was going in there, Jerry, or I thought I was sending you in there, and I ended up. So give that one.
Okay.
Let's see. Here we go. All right. Let's go. Assign to room. All right. Perfect. All right, y'all. It's been an amazing time during Music Business Week in Nashville, Tennessee. Some of the crew was live in Miami for the Bitcoin Miami conference. And then also at Gary V's conference, we had some of the community out there. But I just want to say, it's been a journey. If you are looking to build rich relationships, connect with people outside of your sphere of expertise, but also in the realm with other people from your field, reach out. We have a social capital accelerator that we have our next sessions in June. So reach out if you're looking to do that. I'm going to go and jump into some of the breakout rooms here, and you'll see me again soon. Feel free to reach out, musictechconnection@gmail.com. I'm going to jump on in, check on some of the rooms. Hey, in that room, we had Renata from Infinity XYZ talking about some of the accelerators she's been through, whether it's Krypton Labs, the Founders Institute that she's in the second round of. And we have some other great movers and shakers in that space. If you're interested in getting into an accelerator, just reach out. Let's set up a one-on-one. We're connected with some great ones. And we also have the Social Capital Accelerator that we get to do in-house here in Nashville, but also virtually. Someone go jump into another breakout room. Hey, in that room, we had Mark Birch, AWS startup extraordinaire author, setting up startup accelerators all across the country. So having him and Andrew Shipman side by side in that room was powerful. Andrew just landed a role as head of music at Schiller, co-founded by Sam Jones and Clarence, aka Snoop Dogg. So really, I could just tell you guys some stories about some of the people I get to be around. And one of them is actually just got done at Cannes, the film festival, and they're out at another conference right now. One of the great filmmakers, Kyle Saylor, he's founded Dinners with Dreamers and have some cool stuff coming together around Johnny Cash's 20th anniversary of his homecoming and also 50 years in hip hop. So you'll find out soon what the connector is in that brings those two worlds together here in Nashville and around the globe. I'm going to get ready to touch base in one more room as we're getting ready to go into our startup spotlight. You're not going to want to miss it. And we'll have another breakout session. So we'll be right back. But musictechconnection@gmail.com. Let's jump on a call, learn more about the Social Capital Accelerator. And I'm going to go touch base in one more room. Let's see. Yo.
Oh,
We got Renata and Joe side by side.
perfect.
We were before too.
You guys are kind of like used to, it's we're real encouraged. We have a music tech incubator. We're starting here in Nashville. Decided to move.
Ooh,
And after all my experience in Miami and getting to work at a great startup accelerator there, taking my experiences and really doubling down on music tech. And just so grateful to get to collaborate with such amazing people from Miami, Nashville, Austin, and around the globe. So there will be more information coming soon on that. Super encouraged,
nice.
bringing, really the future of music tech. Even in the new office that we just moved into in the office space, it's where Spotify scaled their business here in Nashville. So we want to make a statement that the future of music tech can be in Music City. It's not just going to be in Music City, but we really believe that Nashville already has some amazing infrastructure. And with that, I mean, we got a great entrepreneur on the call from Nashville, leads, if you go to the Palace Theater or the Palace, they call it, on a Saturday night, you might see him leading some line dance crews to help in leading and teaching line dance, but also just phenomenal entrepreneur. So we shout out to Nick Morris. What's up, man?
What's going on, Brandon? How are you doing?
Great, brother. Always glad. Share some of your vision for Nashville, if you wouldn't mind, and just what you're seeing, from the startup world to the dance entertainment. What's possible here?
There's a lot that's blowing up here in Nashville. I would say that from dance is becoming a really big thing, and not just country dancing, but other styles of dancing, and they're all starting to mix and do all kinds of things, as well as, I see Broadway every day and seeing how more and more people are coming, that's what I see from that end. And then I own a cleaning company as well for Airbnbs, and I just see a high need for that and fulfilling that. But yeah, I have my hand in many different areas, as I shared on the last 2-minute breakout session thing. So
So we're gonna use this, we're gonna stack it for about 5-10 minutes and go into another breakout session. But I just want to give Joe from Merch on Demand just an opportunity. We got a couple really cool startups to feature here, and feel free if anybody wants to give some encouragement or just say what's up. I'll be bringing you on stage here also. But Joe, I want to share a little bit about Merch on Demand and practice that 30 to 60 second power pitch.
Yeah, thanks so much, Brandon, David. So basically, MOD stands for Merch on Demand. We help music artists instantly create merch experiences at no cost. So it's a platform that helps these music artists sell their merchandise easily. We allow anyone to upload and create their official merch really quickly. And the platform has this fan art licensing system that benefits both music artists and fans. Our aim is to become the top site for fans to buy official music merch online and the best merchandise partner for independent music artists at all levels.
Awesome, Joseph. Neil, breaking hits, man.
Going. Good to see you guys. So Breaking Hits is a music opinions platform that originally was built for record labels to service their music to mix show DJs, program directors, and radio stations for promoting new music when it comes out. So goal for Breaking Hits now is to create a platform where all artists can use it to be able to release their music and get a support community ready there for them to be able to share their opinions and support the track when it first comes out, just like labels were looking for when they were first putting out music. And our goal to expand that into the Web3 space is utilizing blockchain technology to validate the user activities, to create a ledger that shows a ledger of support, and then also be able to reward supporters for their participation and action that helps drive music, and have a platform for both sides to be able to do what they love and be recognized for doing it.
It's no coincidence. When I saw that you were coming up here, and shout out to my friend Nova Lorraine from Rain Magazine. She couldn't make it tonight, but sends her love. I felt it was important also not only to have Joseph on here, but also, having success to be able to ask a couple questions to the startups that are on here. Also, Nick, you having just some understanding even how Music City operates, but definitely success. If you'd like to kind of like just cherry pick some, just pick some questions, pick their brains a little bit, what they're working on, that would be phenomenal.
Thank you for that too. Absolutely. The more I'm listening to each individual speak, I'm just more and more impressed, and I'm feeling like I'm in the right place right now, and I thank you again, Brandon, because again, I'm really want to connect with some innovative people that can help me make the transition, because again, we have to understand a lot of younger artists, they're more like open to like new things, like, you know what I mean? Because they grew up on their phones, they grew up on YouTube, they grew up, you know what I'm saying? But you have some artists as well that have great catalogs, that might be independent right now, that's got big brands, that they missing so many opportunities because they don't know, so, and I understand that, because that's why, again, I'm taking the initiative to try to be one of the pioneers, to be able to connect with you, with you great, intelligent future people, you know what I'm saying? Like to bring it there, you know what I mean? Like to bring it there, because that's just what I want to do. Even you're speaking about the merch, that's, it's so much money in that. And sometimes people think it's very strenuous, but now it's just, things are becoming so much more easier, if you just open your mind to it, or they have somebody that they trust that can bring it. And that's the thing with me. Like, even for example, I was working with a particular NFT company, and they was trying to reach out to TLC, to do something. And again, T-Boz is a great friend of mine. So, it depends. Again, a lot of people don't understand when you, depending on who bring things to people is how they're going to react. You know what I'm saying? So when I call T-Boz and I say, hey, this company reached out to me, I know them, boom, boom. She said, okay, success, like, what you want to do? Let's entertain it. No, we can't always know how the business is going to go. But I also established a reputation within the last couple of years, besides, the people I've worked with, to be somebody that think out the box, so I've established that. So when I'm speaking to people now, they're like, oh, what is he talking about? Because we might need to listen to this shit. You know what I'm saying? So Neil, same thing, I'm just sitting here and I'm looking and I'm like, it's a whole team right here. I'm like, I could just probably start running some artists that I know that be reaching out to me, and artists I know, and say, hey, we got Andrew that does this, and we have an attorney, we have, we have Neil that's gonna run the records, we have Joseph with the merchants. Like, everybody is right here, so I'm really just thankful to be able to be on this call. And if there's any way, or it's a way that any of you guys want to contact me, I'm on LinkedIn, Phil Success Hardy. I'm on Instagram, I am success, the number 88. You can contact me there, and like I said, I'm definitely available, and I'm interested in having conversations and seeing if we can help each other for sure. And again, thanks, Brandon.
Absolutely. Vershawn, we connected during NFT NYC, and you have a really cool background, man. Why don't you just kind of share a little bit about your background, what you're working on, and also if you have any questions for Joseph or Neil also, that'd be great.
Cool. So my background, at heart, I'm an artist. So I started making music when I was like 16, 15, writing songs and then putting them on beats. And I went to college for music business. So I studied music business, and I got my first role at Universal Music Group. So I was at their merch label called Bravado. So Joe definitely would be happy to connect and see if there's any way I could help you out. I managed the merch campaigns from like artist idea to execution, the launch, whether it's a partnership, tour, website, a license, whatever the artist really wanted to do and spoke to them, we were just executing those projects. And now I'm working in a few different areas. My overall goal for myself is to build a brand that helps people improve their relationships to themselves and their relationships to other people, and give them the belief and hope that they can achieve their ideal lifestyle with time and vitality to enjoy it. So whether that's through my own music, that's through concerts, events, exhibitions, comics, movies, I have a really big vision for that, and it's going to take some time, but I'm working towards that every day. So I could keep going, but
okay. Here.
Awesome.
Don't put them on the fire. Don't put them on the fire.
Hey, definitely, if you're not on mute, everybody just mute up.
Yeah. Hold on.
Brandon, I got to run. Thank you so much for having me on this. This was great. So many great things are going on here tonight.
Yes, sir, Joe. Let's follow up soon, man. Looking forward to catching up.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Joe, nice to meet you, Joe.
Nice to meet you all. I'm definitely going to reach out to you, Success.
Okay.
For Sean, we'll be talking too, for sure.
Okay. Thank you so much. Look forward to it.
Thank you, guys. All right.
I'm not coming off.
All right.
Now.
We're getting ready for the next breakout room. Before we do, I just want to shout out.
Yeah.
And now also, if you're not on mute, make sure you mute. Let's see. Oh, there we go. That's one of our guys. So shout out William T. Broussard III, taking care of business in Beaumont, one of the hospitality kings there, helping lead the way. But, it's an honor to have, I just want to give Michael an opportunity also to add him as a spotlight on the mix. Just real brief before we go into this breakout room, man, just share what you're working on. And I'm really encouraged. This next breakout session is going to be awesome. So But Michael, want to give you an opportunity to share what you're working on real brief, and I'll get ready to rock in the breakout.
I appreciate it, Brandon. I'm working on starting an investment firm. Right now there's a focus on traditional stocks and equities, but I want to be able to offer Web3 and crypto investing for clients as well. So next month I take my Series 65. So I'm just kind of plugging away at becoming an official investment firm, and then being a resource for people to learn how to invest, be able to invest, be someone that they can trust to grow their money in a responsible way. I want to shout out Ifani. He for sending me the invite to be with y'all. It's a great group of people to be with, and just hoping to learn more.
Awesome, man. It's an honor to have you in the mix. Well, as we go into our next breakout session, we curated these rooms. So I'm encouraged to see what comes out of this. So with that being said, make sure use this time right here, expand on collaboration, but everybody get an opportunity to do a power round, share what you're doing, but pick those 2 or 3 people that you want to do a one-on-one with. And then we have some other things that we're going to be sharing on the other side of this breakout session. I'm encouraged and excited to share. With that being said, practice the art and science of collaboration. Let's collaborate on this conversation. You guys ready to open up these rooms? We're going to count it down. 3, 2, 1. Let's get ready to rock. Yo, it's good to see Ryan from Usher.io as well made it into the mix. Let's see. Good to see Success in the mix too. All right, I think somehow not everybody got into a room, so I'm going to go ahead and reassign that here. See. There we go. And then Success, it'll probably put you in a room here real shortly. Let me see. For some reason, it's not. There we go. There we go. Got in. Awesome. I learned that from Benny Pacella over at Krypton Labs. He's been rocking Future Tech Miami with Ryan Kirkley and also the Web3 Collective. And, when I saw Benny step out and just implementing these breakout rooms, it was on one of our More Than a Mastermind series with Claudia 1 Million. Ifani's been part of that, the Entree Musician, Wartime Leadership, other movers and shakers on a theme called Lead. It actually started as Grow Yourself, Grow Your Community, and then went into Lead Yourself, Lead Your Community with multiple John C. Maxwell coaches, certified coaches. And it's really about personal development, leadership development. If you can lead yourself, you can lead your community. And I had to step out and just start implementing these breakout rooms, and they've made a huge difference. If you're looking to implement that into your community building efforts, reach out, glad to have a conversation, share what we know, and then also share about our upcoming Social Capital Accelerator here in Nashville and around the globe, where we really focus in on helping startups, founders, service providers, investors expand their vision, clarify and expand their vision, set realistic but some uncomfortable goals as well. And our third most important part of that process is helping build out that strategic relations map, building out the perfect avatar or ideal avatar for who you want to build in your partnerships, your advisors, your core community. It's so important to have a solid core community. Wise plan, plans succeed through wise counsel. So we believe in that and are glad to share more about some of what we have going on behind the scenes And we call that our social capital cohort, strategic relations accelerator. That is not a complementary, that's not one of our complementary programs, but it is something that we are flexible with to make sure it's a win for you, win for us, and a win for the community. So if you're interested in that, feel free to reach out. I'm going to jump into one of these breakout rooms and see how things are going. Got some cool stuff happening here, y'all. Awesome watching Neil from Breaking Hits rock it out with Success and Ifani, some other also Michael from Afroblocks also. So I'm gonna go check out another one here. Awesome. Checking out Andrew Schiffman sharing a little bit about his journey into Web3, emerging technologies. And I'm going to hop into another one here. Hey, it was really cool checking out that next breakout session, or the one that I just saw with Joseph from Merch on Demand. We had some other key entrepreneurs in there, Renata and Kiki, and Zach Lindenberg, aka Zach 23K. So that was a phenomenal room. Looking forward to our next one. I believe our next one is June 6th, or actually June 5th. So our next one, if you're watching this, mark June 5th on your calendar for 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. I'm going to go check out one more breakout room here. Yo, we're getting ready to close this thing out here shortly. We're seeing some people come back into the rooms here, or into the main room. Renata,
Brandon, if you need any help, I'm happy to be a advisor. If you ever need me to talk for your for what you're working
oh,
on, I'm happy to do
yeah,
it.
absolutely. We're kicking off the Social Capital Accelerator. We've already done one session, just getting it cooking, but we're onboarding some more companies, startups. So we should definitely jump on a call, find out where we can collaborate and where we can make it a win-win across the board. Shout out to, finally we are seeing, the epiphany for me during Music Business Week was when one of the movers and shakers said, we're all music tech here.
It's true.
And that was that kind of revelation that the thing has shifted. There's more curiosity about emerging tech, but just tech as a whole, the future of music business is a huge part of that. Huge part and the heart of that is the technology and those who program it.
Hey, can everybody?
Check 1 2 1 2. You started. There you go.
It's the echo.
Microphone check.
Microphone check. Yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, just making sure, because when we were in the room, they couldn't hear me at all. I don't know what was going on. So,
William T. Broussard, man, the third. We've been running together for a while, man. Why don't you share a little bit on what you see the benefits of this upcoming Social Capital Accelerator? We've already started the beta side, but kind of some of our strengths as a community as far as strategic relations. What are you seeing are some of the benefits for a startup, a founder, service provider getting involved in something like that?
So from our dealing since 2020, I want to say the main thing is community. Everyone talks about community, but this community has grown and grown and grown. So I haven't found anywhere that I can touch an Adam Schiffman, a Brandon, Success. Nice meeting you today. We talked before, but to be able to reach out, because it reminded me back of when the world slowed down for COVID, people were a little bit more accessible. So now with these type of platforms, this type of accelerator, you're able to get hands-on with some of the greats who are working alongside of us and pretty much, walk you through this new world that we're developing with it, which is Web3.
That's awesome. Hey, Zach, why don't you share, you've been on the More Than a Mastermind side of this thing and been part of some of the in-person community in Nashville and, jump from city to city also. What do you see the benefits of, you as an advisor and one of the key companies that are involved in this? What do you see as some of the benefits?
Quick thing before Zach speaks, I just want to tell you guys I'm about to head out. I got a networking event to head to. This was great. Thanks for the invite, Brandon. It was great meeting everyone else. I got a lot of people's LinkedIn information. Many blessings. Until next time, you guys.
Have a great night.
Shout out to the Bitcoin Whisperer. Hi, Bonnie. He's been one of our key advisors, part of the More Than a Mastermind series, also in the cloud and on the ground. Salute to you, sir.
Salute. See you soon, my brother.
Awesome. So,
I think it's been wonderful. I would say, just like what William said, it's like this word that is said a lot, and it can get kind of not tedious to feel this way or say it so many times where it doesn't feel like it just starts losing, like, all right, we get it. But it's like, yeah, we're going to hammer this home. It is the word community, because I've been in this for a while now. I've been in the More of a Mastermind for a while now, and it's just two different entities, but it grows us together in ways in which we really couldn't before, because a lot of these companies, like if we were doing this, like everyone was very established, they would be doing their own things to capitalize themselves and get everyone on board with their company. Whereas here, it's completely the opposite. We want to work together and grow together and be a community where we can have positive influence, not just for us as individuals, but also for what is our main purpose is to serve others. Whereas we're talking about this music merging technology, we want to help artists, especially in a new environment. So we come up as pioneers to help get the stepping stones to that. So I just think it's been an amazing experience. The more you come into these breakout rooms, the more you come into these connects, these talks, it's like you get to know more and more about a person each time, to the point like I know so many people in these calls that are irregular. I unfortunately have been out of town every time I do more of the mastermind for the last few weeks, so it's been out of the loop, but I've been I'm still in the Telegram and I can hear what's going on, what people had ideas about while they were in the group. So it's still like I'm still a part of it, even though I was not able to make those like that I am tonight. But it's still like we're here, we're still learning together. We can have our 2 cents about something. We can talk about these intros, about what we're doing. And then it's like, cool, I like what you're doing. Joseph, we need to connect because of what you were telling me in the breakout room. And it's like you have these opportunities to have individualized meetings and conversations. And then again, that grows. And then just like with Andrew and a few others here, it's just like we've had our talks together, and it's like, cool, we get to know what we're doing, and I get to hear your success, and like we get to support you more than just like on a surface level. And I think that's where it makes this so powerful that we get to do every week or every other week.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been awesome to grow together, especially seeing Zach go to another level as he travels the country. But Joseph, you're relatively new, but you fast tracked, man, real quick, and are recently onboarded with the Social Capital Accelerator. You were participating in the recent beta session where you pitched a little bit, just got some practice pitching. What are you seeing as far as the future of this? As far as why you're investing in community and collaboration for you as a startup in your company?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, the topic today is like the key of it, right? The collaboration and the creativity and collaboration. It only comes with actually getting out there and meeting people, right? Like, if you don't actually get out of your box, then how are you going to think out the box, right? And you need help with other people to do that too. So that's what it's all about. And that's what I see the opportunity coming to spaces like this, and really, really big kudos to you, Brandon David, for creating a space like this, because this is necessary. Like, I was actually looking for virtual events, in-person events, for the music industry. And it's crazy. There's not a lot, when you really look, that's happening on a regular basis too. You have the biggest industry events, that happen every now and then, but something that's a regular space for industry people to come connect, right? Artists to learn about what's new in the tech space, right? When it comes to music, as well is big, and it's key to kind of moving the whole like industry along, right? And kind of elevating everyone at the same time. So I see like huge potential of just being here, and just being even a fly on the wall. You pick up on what's happening early. You're kind of ahead of the curve, of everyone else that doesn't know about, what everyone else here is doing, right? What Infinity is doing, what, Schiller's doing and all that. So it's really exciting just being in the space and seeing what's happening, right? You feel the energy of everyone involved too. So it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Well, before we jump over to some fireside chat, we'll go off the air and just give us some time in the Zoom world here. But, Andrew's been somebody we've watched him, navigate the space from a music business veteran to emerging tech, and kind of having to it's kind of got that rich dad, poor dad example of each role that he has played. He's learned something, grew relationships. And, Andrew, maybe you could touch on how important community has been through as you've transitioned to where you're at now.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been the person that wants to treat people how I want to be treated. And that helps me build relationships in my work. Because, if you're passionate about a career, that's your family, right? Those are the people you spend more time with than your real family. Sometimes, I mean, it shouldn't be the case, but, but then your relationships become part of your community. And my community really started, when I really wanted to learn about this space. And, COVID helped because we were all stuck on Clubhouse, and just the people that you're with and your community and your group now is a consistent kind of community, which someone said before is like, to be able to reach out to people, and it would be hard to connect if these groups weren't here, in the regular world, because you're just in your own little bubble. But this group really allows me personally to hear what other people are doing. I reached out to Joseph probably in the first 2 minutes of the last Zoom before we even broke out to a Zoom or anything. So it's the power of that. I met Benny through you. I just spent literally every day with him in Miami. Every event I was at, I looked up and there was Benny. It was weird. But that's his town as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, always, even my clients, I always want to return a phone call. I don't, I want to answer a question. If I don't know, I'll find out. I won't, so that just helps build relationships, and it helps me in the long run as a professional. And,
Yeah. I know, man. I saw you guys rocking Consensus, and then, shout out Benny Picallo over at Krypton Labs, man. He's been a great friend and collaborator, and really just help pave the way for community. I mean, it's not just in Miami, but he does with the Web3 Collective. So we just shout out Benny Picallo over there at Krypton Labs. And so as we tune into the fireside chat, if anybody's got to go, you can go, but we're going to go off air, off of YouTube. And so we'll just keep it basic on the Zoom recording for any of the crew. But there's also many people who could not make it tonight, like Nova Lorraine from Rain Magazine, Camila Sanders. We had Jonathan over at the Greater Nashville Arts and Business Council, so many others, Roy Future Man Wooten from the infamous Bella Fleck and the Flecktone sends his love. The community's growing, and we are flowing into our social capital summer cohort with some of the top companies, startups. We're going to have some amazing workshops, how to pitch, just refining the pitch, building relationships, and just getting to the heart of, we don't invest in projects, y'all. We invest in people with our time, our talent, our treasure. So if you want to know more about how you can get involved with the social capital cohort, social capital summer cohort, some of the people on this call are part of that. And even if they don't know they're part of it, they just might be part of it. So let's jump on a discovery call, and we will be sharing more about that. But we're going off the air. You would have had to be.
Hey, everyone. Not to cut you off. I have to run. Pleasure to meet everyone. I left my social media on the chat, links to my Instagram and to my LinkedIn. And I would be, I would love to hear from all of you, what I'm saying, to see if we can help each other. And thank you again, Brandon.
Success, as you go, can you leave us with what's one key from success to success?
Stay persistent. Consistency will overcome resistance. That's what I always say. Consistency will overcome resistance. So, that's the thing a lot of people can't get through. Just being consistent enough so people don't resist anymore. So that's just what I believe.
Success to success.
100.
Sir, and it's to be continued.
Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening. Thank you so much. All right.
Hey, you guys heard it here live on our Monday Music Tech Super Connect live, May 22nd, 2023. It's been epic, and the best is still ahead. Consistency can help you overcome resistance. Keys to success from Success himself. We're so blessed to have Renata from Infinity.xyz, Afro Block, Michael Howard, Neil Collins, Breaking Hits, Vershawn Bowser, Kiki O'Connell, and Robert also talking about Nashville is the place for Bitcoin 2024. So y'all, music, tech, emerging tech, in the years ahead, it's not going to be a separate conversation. Welcome to the Convergence. I'm Brandon David, and we're signing off here to go into the fireside chat, deepen some of these relationships, and just kind of go into the rest of the week with some rest and some good conversations. Thank you all for tuning in. And I'm here with Andrew Schiffman. Joseph Pino, William T. Broussard, Zach 23K Lindenberg. We're calling him Zach 250K because that's about what it should cost an hour to work with him, but he gives a steep discount for people he likes. So to be continued. We're going to go off the air here, y'all. Let's see.